Alrighty, so today we focused a lot in orientation. We did our mock exam, the foundations, we debriefed with that, and we did the crucial conversations, but this little piece of information is going to be focused on legal research. Legal research, a lot of it was review, because legal research comes from statutes, and it comes from cases. And well, what are the two things there? You have civil law and common law. And just a refresher, common law is pretty much precedent. Stare decisis means as it stands. So in other words, the cases that are decided is as the rule stands. And so you're going to use those cases for common law as established precedent. We also talked about, and then of course the statutes is civil law, but we also talked about primary and secondary authority again. And I thought that this was explained quite a lot better. So primary, there's two types of primary authority. The first is mandatory and persuasive. So mandatory binding authority is a source of law that the court has to follow. So for example, the Constitution, statutes, state jurisdictions, things like that. Persuasive primary authority is a source of law that the court may take into consideration, but it doesn't need to follow. For example, court decisions from other jurisdictions. Okay, so secondary sources of authority is articles that are written by a legal scholar. For example, law reviews are secondary. Treaties, encyclopedias, those kind of things are all secondary. They can be used in a case, but they are not going to be a persuasive form of law, persuasive form of authority. After that, we talked a lot about citations, a little bit of how to cite, and we went into how we're going to focus on ourselves personally doing our homework assignments. And this is where it got a little confusing because there's a lot. So we have a total of 4 resources, I believe. The first one is that we have the Sloan book, we have the Tepley book, and then we have ALWD. I think it's Allwood is how they pronounce it as the acronym. And then you have the citation guide. The Allwood is the citation guide. We have an outline as well. Okay, so what we're going to do for our assignment, we're going to go on Twin. We're going to have our own personal Sloan and Tepley number, and those are going to coordinate with those books to say which practice problems we need to focus on during our assignments. After we do get those practice problems, we answer those problems with the legal research guide and the outline that we are given. And that's how our legal research homework is going to go. It's going to be due every morning at 8:30. Not every morning, every Monday morning at 8:30. So it's a little confusing, but I think that's how it's going to go. Hopefully it clicks a little better with more time, and I can explain it a little more thoroughly in the future. Thanks and bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of The Law Schoolers. Before I let you go, there are 4 things I want to say. The first thing is if you enjoyed these episodes and if you enjoyed the website, I would invite you to go and join Law Schoolers Pro. And you can do that by going to lawschoolers.com/join. It's a way for you to support us, but there's also a lot of features there that I think you will enjoy. Second thing is that nearly all of our episodes are unedited. The only ones that aren't are pre-law materials, and the reason for that is so you can actually see the legal material in its raw form as I'm learning it as well. The third thing is that the information contained in these episodes are specifically only for educational purposes. They're not to be used as legal advice, and with that, the fourth thing is if it is used as legal advice, we are not liable. That is, Law Schoolers is not liable for any legal outcomes. Thank you again for enjoying the show. Have a good one.